Chosen one, the pressure you're feeling right now isn't the end, it's the signal. The energy around you is shifting in ways your human mind can't fully grasp yet. Everything that feels like it's falling apart is actually falling into alignment. You've reached the final stretch, the point where heaven begins rearranging things so powerfully that chaos becomes the evidence of transformation. What looks like delay is divine compression. What feels like resistance is preparation. You are closer to the breakthrough than you think. The signs are subtle. Doors closing abruptly, emotions surfacing, people leaving quietly, but that's how the divine clears your path before promotion. Every sudden ending is a spiritual beginning in disguise. Before we dive deeper into this message, take a moment, breathe, ground yourself, and listen carefully. This message didn't find you by accident. If you're here, it's because the universe is aligning you with something greater than you've imagined. As you listen, I invite you to comment below your warmest wishes and 777. Let that be your signal to heaven. When you write 777, you're declaring, I am ready. I trust the process. I open my heart to receive what's mine. That number vibrates with divine completion and spiritual activation. It tells the universe that your energy is ready to manifest miracles. You're not just wishing, you're commanding light to move on your behalf. When you write those words, your faith becomes frequency. And everything that's been waiting for your belief starts to shift toward you. Now, listen closely. Breakthrough doesn't always announce itself with beauty. Sometimes it begins with silence. Sometimes it begins with exhaustion, with nights that feel too long and prayers that seem unanswered. But the reason it feels so heavy right now is because the weight you're carrying doesn't belong in your next season. Heaven is stripping away what can't go with you. The people who don't align with your frequency are drifting, not because you're losing them, but because your energy no longer holds them. The path ahead is higher ground, and not everyone is meant to climb with you. That's not rejection, it's release. There's something sacred about this moment of tension you're standing in. It's the divine pause before motion. When nothing seems to be happening, that's when everything is happening behind the scenes. The universe moves quietly when it's aligning destiny. You may not see it, but the doors are shifting, opportunities are ripening, and timing is converging. Breakthrough energy rarely feels like breakthrough. It feels like testing. It feels like being stretched beyond what you thought you could handle. That's because the divine doesn't prepare you for blessings. It prepares blessings for you. You are being positioned, not punished. This is the season where heaven measures your persistence. Will you still believe when it looks impossible? Will you still trust when you don't understand? Will you still move forward when everything around you feels still? Because faith isn't proven in light, it's proven in shadows. The moment you refuse to give up, heaven begins to multiply your strength. You may not realize it yet, but your endurance is currency. Every tear, every prayer, every moment you chose peace over panic, it's all been recorded as evidence of faith. And heaven never ignores evidence. You've been asking why certain doors shut just when you were ready, but the truth is those doors weren't closed. They were redirected. The path you expected isn't the one that leads to your breakthrough. That's why it's been feeling strange lately, why familiar things no longer fit, why comfort feels uncomfortable, why routine suddenly feels too small. You've outgrown the atmosphere of your old season. Your energy is expanding and your environment must catch up. The divine will always disrupt what's beneath your calling to make room for what matches your growth. Don't mistake stillness for stagnation. The quiet is divine incubation. The universe has hidden you for protection, not punishment. You're being refined in secret so that when your moment comes, no one can take credit for it. When the breakthrough arrives, it will happen so suddenly that even you will be speechless. You'll realize that everything had to happen exactly how it did, the heartbreak, the delays, the lessons, the waiting. You'll look back and see that none of it was wasted. Every detour led you closer to alignment. Every no became a sacred yes in disguise. The truth is, breakthrough rarely comes when you're ready. It comes when you've surrendered. It arrives when you finally stop trying to control the outcome and allow divine timing to do what human effort couldn't. That's when everything shifts. Relationships heal, opportunities unfold, finances expand, and peace returns stronger than ever. The moment you stop forcing, the universe starts flowing. You've been doing the work, now heaven is about to respond. The reason it feels like the pressure is building is because you're sitting at the edge of a threshold. You're in spiritual labor. The contraction before birth feels like breaking, but it's actually creation. You're not being destroyed, you're being delivered. You'll know you're close when you start to feel uncomfortable where you used to feel content. You'll sense that something bigger is calling you, but you won't be able to define it yet. That's not confusion, that's awakening. The divine always stirs your spirit before it moves your circumstances. The breakthrough you've been praying for isn't coming from outside, it's unfolding within you. The doors are not opening to you, they're opening through you. You've already shifted internally, and the external world is just catching up. That's why patience feels painful. It's not delay, it's alignment. The universe is ensuring that when the opportunity arrives, you won't sabotage it. Heaven doesn't send blessings to unprepared hands. It finishes its work in your heart first. So when you feel tired, don't mistake that for failure. Fatigue is the final test before fulfillment. Every spiritual runner feels the burn right before the finish line. That's the moment heaven watches most closely. Not when you start, but when you choose to keep going. You've carried your faith through seasons where most would have quit. You've walked alone, misunderstood, and unseen, but still you believed. And that persistence has summoned divine attention. You've proven that you're ready to carry what's next. The breakthrough isn't coming, it's here. It's already forming around you, adjusting itself to your readiness. Every shift, every loss, every sudden redirection is proof that the old is collapsing under the weight of your next level. You can feel it, the magnetic pull towards something higher. Something that doesn't just look like success, but feels like peace. That's your sign. The divine doesn't tease you with glimpses. It shows you previews, so you won't quit. You've seen enough to know it's real, and that's why you can't go back. You're too close, so hold steady. The shaking isn't to destroy you, it's to position you. The pressure isn't punishment, it's promise. You are being molded, expanded, and upgraded. The divine is building something around you that won't break when the blessings arrive. You are not behind, you are not forgotten. You are standing on sacred ground, the threshold of everything you prayed for. The energy has already shifted in your favor. What's meant for you has already started moving. You're closer to the breakthrough than you think. Keep your faith steady, your heart open, and your spirit calm. Heaven heard you the first time, you're just waiting for the echo. When the light begins to shift, you don't always recognize it. The energy of breakthrough doesn't arrive like a celebration, it arrives like a whisper. It's subtle, disguised as ordinary moments, tiny realignments that seem insignificant until everything connects. You'll notice the air feels different, your intuition feels sharper. Certain conversations suddenly end mid-sentence, certain habits lose their pull, certain thoughts that once consumed you now feel too heavy to hold. That's how you know the transformation has begun. Heaven moves quietly when it's preparing something loud. The silence you're feeling isn't emptiness, it's rearrangement. You might be wondering why the blessings haven't appeared yet, why the doors still seem closed, even after so much faith. But the divine doesn't rush, it synchronizes. The delay you're feeling is heaven fine-tuning your environment to fit your elevation. It's making sure that when you step into what's next, nothing can fall apart again. The people, the opportunities, the timing, it all has to match your new vibration. You're not waiting for your blessing is waiting for you to finish becoming. Every time you release a fear, forgive someone, or choose patience instead of panic, something moves in your favor. That's the hidden equation of breakthrough. It multiplies in silence. You may not feel the shift instantly, but energy never forgets movement. Every calm decision you make sends a message to the universe. I'm ready for peace that lasts. You're no longer chasing miracles, you're embodying them. The universe doesn't reward desperation, it responds to alignment. That's why heaven kept you still for so long. It wanted your energy purified, your intentions clear, your spirit unshakable. And now, you can sense it. The storm that was meant to break you has begun to pass. You can breathe again, not because life is perfect, but because your soul finally feels anchored. The anxiety that once ruled you has turned into awareness. The confusion that once drowned you has turned into clarity. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of problems, it's the presence of divine rhythm. You've stopped fighting the current and started floating with trust. That's when miracles start to appear. The breakthrough doesn't come all at once, it reveals itself in layers. You'll start to feel lighter. You'll wake up one morning and realize the weight in your chest has lifted. You'll look at your reflection and recognize your own eyes again, but brighter this time, wiser, calmer, stronger. The healing you prayed for won't come as a single moment of magic. It will come as a collection of small moments that lead to peace. Every sigh of relief, every moment of clarity, every spark of gratitude, that's the breakthrough unfolding quietly. It's important to remember that before every visible miracle, there's an invisible shift. Energy moves first, then matter follows. That's why you can feel it before you see it. The divine always manifests internally before it shows externally. The heaviness you've been feeling lately, it's the old timeline collapsing. You're not losing stability, you're shedding density. You're outgrowing realities that once felt safe. Because you're stepping into something sacred. You can't take fear into faith. The weight must leave before the wings appear. You might not realize it yet, but you're already standing in answered prayers. The healing began when you forgave. The blessing began when you stopped chasing what rejected you. The miracle began when you stopped begging and started believing. You didn't need more effort, you needed more trust. Heaven's plan didn't fail, it's just unfolding differently than your expectations. The delay was not denial, it was divine direction. You weren't waiting for your breakthrough, it was waiting for you to stop doubting. And now the energy is shifting again. You'll notice the signs soon, numbers aligning, conversations feeling deeper, opportunities returning in new form. You'll feel bursts of peace that come out of nowhere. That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. That's heaven tapping your shoulder saying, don't give up. You're almost there. You might not see the full picture yet, but the edges are forming. The pieces that once confused you will start to connect. What didn't make sense before will suddenly feel necessary. The divine is preparing to reveal why it all took so long. When that moment arrives, it will come suddenly, beautifully, perfectly on time. You'll realize that the waiting season was never wasted. It was where the foundation for your blessing was poured. You didn't lose time, you gained depth. You didn't miss opportunities, you gained wisdom. You didn't fall behind, you were being refined. The version of you that will walk into this breakthrough needed to be built slowly. The divine never rushes masterpieces. And that's what you are now, a masterpiece in motion. The tests didn't break you, they built your capacity. The setbacks didn't punish you, they sharpened your discernment. The isolation didn't abandon you, it protected you. You're not the same person who started this journey. You've grown in silence, healed in secret, and trusted when nothing made sense. That's why heaven is smiling now, because it knows you've finally become what it saw in you all along. You're closer than you think. Closer to clarity, closer to peace, closer to the version of yourself that can hold what's coming. The breakthrough is not somewhere far ahead, it's standing right in front of you, waiting for you to realize it's already yours. The shift happens quietly, almost imperceptibly at first. You wake up one morning and something feels different. The air, the energy, even your own heartbeat. You can't explain it, but deep down you know. The heaviness that once sat in your spirit starts to lift. The thoughts that used to drown you begin to dissolve. The waiting no longer feels like punishment, it feels like preparation. This is the threshold, chosen one. The the place where breakthrough moves from unseen to unfolding. You're no longer just surviving the process, you're beginning to witness the promise. It starts small. A situation that once triggered you no longer shakes you. A door that once closed stays closed, and yet you feel peace instead of pain. A conversation you thought you needed suddenly loses importance. These are not coincidences, they're signs of spiritual completion. The divine is showing you that the old cycle has truly ended. What used to hold power over your emotions now passes through you effortlessly because you've mastered neutrality. And neutrality isn't indifference, it's divine trust. It's the understanding that everything meant for you will align without your force. You may not see a flood of blessings yet, but pay attention to the subtleties. The small confirmations, the synchronicities, the unexplainable calm in the middle of more uncertainty, those are the footprints of heaven walking beside you. When you least expect it, you'll start to notice miracles disguised as timing. A message at the perfect moment, a chance encounter that changes everything, a sudden idea that feels divinely inspired. That's how breakthrough begins. It doesn't shout, it synchronizes. You've entered the stage where heaven's movements are deliberate. Every delay now carries purpose. Every silence holds instruction. Every emotion has meaning. You're learning that breakthrough isn't always about what arrives, it's about what awakens. The external world begins to mirror your internal stability. The more peace you hold, the more order appears around you. The people who belong in your next season start finding you. Conversations become deeper, your intuition becomes louder, and your energy becomes magnetic. You no longer chase alignment, it finds you. But there's a sacred test hidden inside this moment. The divine will show you glimpses of what's coming, not to tease you, but to test your readiness. Can you handle almost there without losing faith? Can you sit in not yet without bitterness? That's where breakthrough refines your spirit. The miracle isn't just in the outcome, it's in your ability to stay soft, patient, and believing when the finish line is inches away but still unseen. The ones who hold peace in uncertainty are the ones who carry power in victory. You've waited long enough that your spirit now knows how to hold peace without proof. That's maturity. You no longer need evidence to believe. You believe because belief itself has become your home. And that's when the divine smiles, because that's the energy that opens doors. Heaven doesn't release blessings to the anxious, it releases them to the anchored. Your calm has become your key, your peace has become your password. Soon the small miracles will begin to multiply. You'll notice the right opportunities finding you instead of you chasing them. You'll feel a pull to move in new directions, and instead of fear, you'll feel excitement. That's how you know your breakthrough is fully active. When what once scared you now fuels you, you've crossed the threshold. When you stop waiting for change and start becoming it, you've aligned completely. The energy of divine movement is building around you, even in the stillness. You may feel restless, emotional, or sensitive. That's your spirit adjusting to the frequency of fulfillment. It's not chaos, it's calibration. You're aligning with the vibration of answered prayers, and that process shakes loose anything that can't stay. So if you're feeling emotional lately, it's because the light within you is expanding. The new timeline is integrating. Heaven is merging its rhythm with yours, and soon it won't just be subtle anymore, it will be undeniable. You'll see doors that were once sealed swing open with no explanation. You'll watch opportunities that vanished return in better form. You'll witness people reappear, not to distract you, but to confirm how much you've grown. The divine will orchestrate everything perfectly, not for your ego, but for your faith. So you'll never again doubt the timing of heaven. You've reached the vibration where blessings feel natural, not shocking. You've healed so deeply that peace feels normal now, not rare. You've trusted so consistently that surrender feels safe now, not scary. This is your breakthrough, steady, sacred, unfolding. It's not coming to fix you, it's coming to reflect you. You've already become the version of yourself capable of holding it. The waiting season was not delay, it was training for endurance. And now the race is nearly over, the finish line isn't far, it's not in the distance, it's within. Every act of patience, every moment of faith, every quiet night you endured has carried you here. The breakthrough isn't on the horizon, it's rising in your spirit. You can feel it, can't you? The hum of destiny vibrating beneath your skin, the pull of purpose whispering almost. It's closer than you think. You're standing in the prelude to answered prayer, and the divine is about to show you what all of this waiting was for. Keep breathing, keep believing. The story is shifting even now, and you, chosen one, are about to walk into the chapter where everything starts to make sense. It begins softly, like dawn after a long night. The energy around you starts to hum with purpose. Things that used to take months now happen in days. People begin to say, "You've changed." But the truth is, you didn't change. You aligned. You stopped running after what was fading and turned toward what was forming. That shift in energy sent ripples through everything connected to you. Suddenly opportunities start appearing out of nowhere, not because you chased them, but because you became a magnet for divine timing. You can feel it, the quiet power in the air, the invisible push forward, the subtle certainty that something big is moving. And for the first time in a long time, you're not anxious, you're ready. Breakthrough energy doesn't arrive with thunder, it arrives with alignment. You'll notice things click into place so effortlessly that you'll wonder why they ever felt complicated before. The people who truly belong to your next chapter will start to show up, those who speak your soul's language, who see your light without needing to be convinced. They'll feel familiar because they are souls assigned to walk beside you in this new vibration. The divine doesn't just bring blessings, it brings balance. That's what you're stepping into now, a life that no longer drains you to sustain your purpose. You're learning to receive without resistance, you're learning to exist in ease. And as the blessings begin to appear, you'll notice something even more powerful. You're not shocked by them. You'll smile and say, "Of course," because deep down, you knew. You spent so long in faith that when manifestation arrives, it feels like memory. The signs were always there, but now they've taken form. That's what breakthrough truly means, when what your soul already knew finally becomes what your eyes can see. You'll start seeing it everywhere. The call that changes everything, the apology that brings peace, the opportunity that feels so right it almost feels surreal. The dream that finally begins to unfold after years of silence. It won't be random, it'll be revelation. You'll realize that every no was building this yes. Every delay was shaping this perfect alignment. You'll see how the pain had a purpose, how the heartbreak held hidden wisdom, how every lonely night carved room for grace to move. The story will connect in ways that make you laugh through your tears, because the divine was never denying you, it was designing you. There's a peace that follows breakthrough, one that feels sacred. You'll notice that you no longer need constant reassurance. You don't crave attention or validation anymore. The blessing you carry now is internal. It's unshakable. It doesn't depend on circumstances or people. It's something heaven placed in you that can't be touched by what happens around you. This peace is your new foundation. And because of it, you move differently now. You speak softly, but your words carry authority. You make decisions quickly because clarity has replaced confusion. You no longer seek signs, you are the sign. But even in this season of blessings, the divine will whisper something important. Don't stop now. Breakthrough isn't a destination, it's momentum. It's the divine current you ride, not the shore you rest on. The same energy that opened this door will carry you through the next. You've been entrusted with more than success. You've been entrusted with stewardship. What you do with this peace, this wisdom, this power will echo far beyond you. You are now responsible for the light you carry. Heaven didn't just bless you, it activated you. You'll find that your presence begins to affect people differently now. Strangers will feel calm near you without knowing why. Friends will come to you for guidance even when you're silent. That's not coincidence, it's vibration. You've become a transmitter of divine frequency. Heaven flows through your patience, your kindness, your energy. You're no longer waiting for miracles, you're creating them with every step you take. That's the true essence of breakthrough, when your life itself becomes a prayer that never stops answering. And as this new reality unfolds, you'll look back on everything that once felt unbearable and realize you survived what was designed to awaken you. You endured storms that built spiritual muscles. You stayed faithful when logic told you to quit, and now, because of that endurance, you're equipped to walk in a peace few ever reach. You understand now that every collapse was a construction, every ending was divine editing, every delay was mercy. And now, with tears of gratitude in your eyes, you'll finally whisper, "I see it now." This is your breakthrough, chosen one, not an event, but an evolution. You didn't stumble into it, you grew into it. You didn't wait for it, you became it. Everything around you is reflecting that truth now. The universe responds faster because you've learned to move slower. The divine answers quicker because you've learned to listen deeper. Heaven isn't distant anymore, it's within you, guiding each decision, aligning every path. You've entered a rhythm where everything just flows. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. The pressure is gone, the striving is over. What once took force now happens through faith. You are walking proof that patience produces power and surrender attracts miracles. And as you stand here surrounded by what you once prayed for, remember this truth. The journey didn't break you, it built you. The waiting didn't waste you, it woke you. You are the evidence that faith works, that time heals, that surrender manifests. You are the living embodiment of breakthrough itself. And the best part? This is only the beginning. And now everything that once felt distant finally stands before you. The waiting, the tears, the silence, it all makes sense. You realize the breakthrough was never just about what you would receive, it was about who you would become. You look around and notice how calm the world feels, not because it changed, but because you did. The same things that once terrified you now feel powerless. The same doubts that used to echo in your mind have gone quiet. You're not chasing peace anymore, you are peace. The breakthrough didn't just happen around you, it happened through you. You've stepped into divine rhythm now. Things align without struggle, the right people appear effortlessly, and opportunities flow in perfect timing. You've stopped asking when because your spirit finally understands now. Heaven no longer feels far, it's in every breath, every heartbeat, every moment you choose trust over fear. You've learnt that surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means giving way, letting the divine move where your strength once tried. That's why everything feels lighter now. You're no longer carrying the outcome, you're carried by it. The noise is gone, the striving is gone. The fear of losing what's yours is gone. Because what's meant for you doesn't have to be chased, it recognizes your frequency and returns home naturally. You've become magnetic to miracles, not because of luck, but because of alignment. The universe mirrors your peace back to you in blessings, love, and purpose. You're not surviving anymore, you're creating, flowing, existing in grace. And as you stand here surrounded by the very energy you once prayed for, you realize this was never about the finish line, it was about the transformation that carried you here. You're no longer waiting for a new chapter, you are the new chapter. Everything that left was meant to make space, everything that stayed was meant to grow with you. You are the breakthrough chosen one, not chasing light, becoming it, not seeking signs, living as one. The divine has rewritten your story through your endurance, your faith, and your stillness. And now all that's left to do is receive. This new season feels different. It's lighter, quieter, yet somehow more powerful. You no longer need to explain what you've been through because your peace speaks louder than your story. The glow around you isn't for show, it's evidence of divine endurance. You've walked through storms that tried to erase you, and still your light never dimmed. Every scar now shines as proof of grace. You've learned that strength isn't noise, it's stillness. That faith isn't waiting, it's knowing. You move through each day as if the universe itself recognizes your presence, and it does. Because you've become aligned with its rhythm. You no longer chase meaning, you embody it. Every breath feels like gratitude, every step feels like purpose. This isn't just your breakthrough, it's your rebirth. And the world is about to witness what divine timing looks like when it finally meets divine readiness. You've entered a chapter where peace is your power and grace is your guide. Nothing feels forced anymore. Everything flows. The storm didn't end you, it revealed you.